Hey, Carlos, this video is for you, and I have you here working with me. Say hi to yourself.
Hi.
You gotta say it louder.
Hi.
All right, so we're gonna work on some things that I-Ready says that you need to be ready for FSA. So, I'm gonna write down the topics that they say that you need. The first one is subtracting. Multiplying two-digit by two-digit numbers, multiplying up to four-digit by one-digit numbers, and rounding to the tens, hundreds, thousands, and 10,000s. All right, so we're gonna, and then fractions, solve word problems, adding and, okay, so, and then adding and subtracting fractions. So these are the things that I-Ready says that you need a little help on to get you ready for FSA, adding and subtracting fractions.
I know how round a little.
All right, so we're gonna work on that because it might be the question types, subtracting fractions.
I know how round, but the questions sometimes are confusing and I round to the wrong numbers.
Okay, so we're going to look at that. Let me put this over here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with subtracting. So I'm going to show you a couple things, and then I'm going to have you solve some subtracting problems, okay? So we have 571 minus 286. All right, Carlos, so explain to me, how do I start doing this?
You start doing it by subtracting from the ones place.
All right.
All the way to the hundreds.
Okay, so what's 1 minus 6?
5.
All right, can I show me 1, Carlos. Now take 6 from that.
You can't.
Okay, so what do I got to do, baby?
You got to do regrouping.
All right, I'm going to regroup. So I'm going to cross that out. That's now going to become an 11 because I'm borrowing a 10 from the tens place. And then that'll become a 6. What is 11 minus 6?
11 minus 6 is 6 minus 10 is 5.
5. Okay, good. And a good way to do it is to count up from your smaller numbers. So if I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right? What's 6 minus 8?
6 minus 8, you can't.
I can't do, so I have to regroup. So that 6 becomes a 16 because I'm borrowing a 10 from the 5, which becomes a 4.
I thought it was 100.
It's the hundreds place, but it's 10 times as big as the digit next to it. So since I gave it to the one right next to it, it's only considered a 10.
Okay.
All right, 16 minus 8. So count up from 8. 9.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 19.
Oh, it was 16. Let's try it again. I messed up. 9. Nope, 9.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
What is that?
8.
All right. 4 minus 2.
2.
Okay. So 571 minus 286 is 285. Oh, look how close those were. So there's other types of subtraction problems that you may see, and I'm going to show you these, and then I'm going to have you do 2 on here. Okay. So
it was just one digit down from the answer.
I know. I didn't even realize that.
If someone guessed that it would be one digit on it, they would have got it right. But they have to show their work.
All right. So in this particular problem, we have to solve for the missing digit. They already gave us the answer, okay? So what we do is we just work our way through the problem doing what we need to do. So we still, the same thing. Where do we start, Carlos?
We start from the ones place.
Okay. So 8 minus 1. So that's right. I don't need to regroup or anything, right? Okay, so now here I have 3 minus blank, we don't know what it is, equals 4. If your answer is bigger than this here, baby, if the answer is bigger than this here, we have to regroup. Okay, so I'm going to borrow from here, and I'm going to make this 13. 13 minus 4, and then that'll tell us what goes inside that box.
13, that's
So we're
9.
gonna, there you go. So the answer for this is 9. All right, so you have to work through this problem and show your regrouping. So I'm going to give you 2 problems here, and I want you to work them out for us, okay?
I'm happy I'm on this side because I'm a lefty now.
Oh, you're a lefty, yep.
The part about being a lefty is the ink gets on me.
It does. Gets all over you. All right, and I want you to explain it so that it's on your video and you're explaining how to do this, okay? All right, so here's your blue pen. Start off solving the first one for me. Make sure you explain it, okay?
Okay. 8 minus...
Nope, nope, this one first, baby.
Oh, that one. 4 minus 6 is... Wait, 6 minus 4.
Nope, you can't switch it. 4 minus 6, can I do that?
No.
So then do your job.
You turn that into a 14 and subtract that to a 7 and then take away 14 from 6, which would make
7.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 8.
There you go.
8 and 7.
7, take away 9. Can I do that?
No.
All right,
so
regroup.
We go there. And we go turn that into a 17.
All right.
And then 1.
Nope, start at 9 and count up.
8.
Nope, start at 9.
Oh, 10.
10.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 9 left.
Are you sure? Let's try it again.
No, 8.
The 8, there you go. Good job.
I noticed it was 8 because 9 plus 9 is 18.
Very good. All right, keep going.
2 minus 1. 1 minus 2 is 1. 188.
All right, good. Now go to the next one.
No. 8 minus 9 is 9, and 6 minus...
Do the regrouping, baby.
Wait, regroup.
You've got to work your way through. Can I take... Oh, so then regroup it. You got to show us because that's how you figure out what the missing...
7.
No, it doesn't go down.
Wait, oh, no.
That becomes a what? Can you take 9 from 8? No. So what do you have to make that so that you can...
And 18.
There you go. And now regroup the 5, or the 6 to a 5.
And 5.
Okay.
And then...
So you know this is right now 5 and this is an 8. Can I have that?
No.
Nope. So you're going to have to regroup.
And then that, we will group that to a 15. And then the 2 turns into 1.
Okay.
And then subtract
15 minus 8. And that'll tell you what your missing digit is.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7.
So your missing digit is 7. That's good. Okay.
And
So,
then 1.
no. 1 minus 1 is 1?
Oh, no, 0.
Exactly. That's why it's not there, because I already gave you the answer. You were figuring out the missing digit. So the good thing about figuring out the missing digit, once you figure out the digit, you can stop. You don't have to keep going, okay?
Okay.
So that is part of subtracting when you are working on iReady. These are the things that we said we need. So let's look at the next thing. The next thing they said you needed some help with was multiplication. All right. So the good thing about multiplication are there are different ways that you can do multiplication. So we've got, oops, I moved the paper. So the easiest way is to memorize your facts. But if you don't have your facts memorized, we can do some different things to help us. So let's say we're working on 3 times 4, okay? If you don't know your facts, 3 times 4, I could solve this in different ways. I could do repeated addition, which is adding 4 3 times. 4 and 4 is 8, plus another 4 is 12. I could do that, all right? I could do a quick pick. So I 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
We're
Okay?
doing the multiplication.
Yes, multiplication, and I'm showing you some different strategies. Another strategy, which is a really good one to do, is thinking about your friendly facts, your numbers that you do know. So maybe I don't know 3 times 4, but I do know 3 times 2, and that's 6. So that would, and so I can start there, and I could just add another 3, and that would give me 9, and then another 3, and that would give me 12. So I'm not adding as much, but I am still adding some and thinking about the facts that I know. Or I know 3 times 3, that's 9, and then I could add another 3. Or I might know 4 times 2, which is 8, and then add another 4. Okay, so I think about those friendly facts. So these are some of the strategies for multiplication. So what iReady says that we need to work on is multi-digit multiplication. So 53 times 46. All right?
They make me do the little box and then the
Yes,
time.
yes, and that's the strategy that you really should learn. And this, because this strategy is really easy and it has mental math. So I'm making my box. Since there's 2 digits in each numbers, I have 2 digits across the top and 2 digits on the side, okay? So I'm going to break apart this number into place value. That's 50 and 3. And then I'm going to break apart this number in place value. That's 40 and 6. All right? Now once I have that, I write my multiplication facts inside so I don't make a mistake. So across, I do 40 times 40 times. All right? Because it has to go across. Now I'm going to go across here. 6 times, 6 times. And then I go down. 50, 50. And then I go down 3, 3. Okay? So now once I have my facts in there, I can quickly do my multiplication because these are mental facts. There's not a whole lot of moving around. So what is 4 times 5? 20. And how many zeros are inside this box?
2.
So I add 2 more. And remember, that 0 goes with 4 times 5. So that 0 doesn't count as one of your 2. What's 4 times 3?
4 times. We just did that.
So it's
4. Wait, no. 4, 8, 12.
there you go. 12, and how many zeros are in there?
And there's just 1.
Okay. 6 times 5.
5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
No, you're counting by tens, by fives. 5, 10.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
Baby, 6 times 5. Where are you going?
30.
Okay, good.
30.
And how many zeros?
1.
Okay. And then 6 times 3.
1.
6 times 3, baby.
6 plus 6 is 12.
Plus another 6 is?
And 12 plus 6 is 18.
Perfect. Are there any zeros?
No.
No. Okay. So what I've done is I found the partial product. I have this. Now what I need to do is I need to put all the products together in order to find the actual product of that.
I got one of the questions wrong because of 6 times 3, and I thought it was 16.
No, well, it happens sometimes, babe.
I just noticed that was 18.
So you see how I'm writing all these out so I can add these together. What's 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 8?
8.
0 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1.
1. Oh,
0, 0, 2, 1. Okay, see, you can do it. Pay attention. 0, 3, 1.
4.
And
2.
so the product of 53 and 46 is 2,438. So this is one of the this is the strategy you should be using because it uses your mental facts. Now remember, when you're working these out, if you don't know these mental facts, you need to write them down. Do 6 times 3 and add them, and then do another, so that way you don't make a mistake, because like you said, you made a mistake on the other thing. You thought it was 16, right? But if you write it down, I know you'd get it right because you're super smart, okay?
I was counting with my fingers after counting
Let's
to 16.
write it down on the paper. You'll be able to catch your mistakes. All right, the next thing is they said multiplying 3-digit numbers by by a 1-digit number. So 283 times 7. Okay, so when we're doing something like this, you are still using the same type of strategy, the partial products, to solve this. So I'm going to break apart this number into place values. So tell me what that is in place value. Tell me what this is in place value.
In place value is going to be 200.
Okay, 200.
80.
80, and 3. Okay, and then what I do is I distribute my 7 to all of the pieces. So this is going to be times 7, this is times 7, and this is times 7. Okay? So 200, or 2 times 7 is?
2 times 7 is 14.
How many zeros do I have, baby?
2.
Okay. 8 times 7 is?
8. Oh, that's hard.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Oh, that's fine. We're going to think about it. Do you know any of your 8's tables?
Yes.
What? 8 times what?
8 times 1, 8 times 0.
How about 8 times
8
5?
times-
Can we figure that one out real quick? Okay, what is 8 times 5? Let's start there.
8 times 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
40, okay. So we know that's 8 times 5. We need to get to 8 times 7. So I need to add another 8, and then that'll be 8 times 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's 40 plus 8?
40 plus 8. Oh, 16 plus 16 is...
No, baby. Let's stick with this strategy. 40 plus 8.
40, 4 plus 8.
No, 0 plus 8.
8
And then 4 plus nothing.
plus nothing. 4.
Okay. And now let's add another 8, and that'll be 8 times 7. So that's where I need to be. What's 8 plus 8?
16.
Regroup my 1. What's 1 plus 4?
5.
All right, so you see, we figured it out. It wasn't that hard. You started at 8 times 5. You already knew that one, so that was real simple, right? And you wrote it down, and now you have it. So this is 56, and how many zeros do we have?
I feel like we use these and there and on the board.
We always do. And then how many zeros are there, baby?
There are 1.
1 0. And then 7 times 3.
7 times 3, 14.
So 14, that's the one you know, and let's add another 7 to that. So what is 4 plus 7?
4 plus 7 is 11.
Regroup a 1. What's 1 plus 1?
2.
See? Look. Super easy. 21. Are there any zeros?
No.
No. So what do I do with all these pieces?
Add them together.
Add them together. You got a tickle in your throat. 21. All right. 0 plus 0 plus 1?
0 plus 0, 1, 1.
0, 6, 2.
8,
4, 9. 4, 5.
9,
1 and nothing.
1.
All right. Okay, so that is multiplication. And the next thing we're going to work on is rounding, okay? You ready for this? We can handle this. All right, rounding.
The easiest one was the subtract.
Okay, so we've got this really big number here, all right?
Yeah.
And we have to round. And it says you need to be able to round to the tens place. Can you point to the tens place for me? The hundreds place? The thousands place? And the 10,000s place. Okay, so you know all your place value. Good, we don't have to make sure. So if we need to round this number to the tens place, this is what we should do. I underline the place value because that helps me make sure that I get all my numbers right. And you know the rule about rounding?
Yes.
Okay, tell me the rule. What is it?
The rule is that when your neighbor next door is over 5 means the number that's underlined will go up. But if the neighbor is a low number under 5, that means the number underlined will stay the same.
Very good. So if your neighbor next door is under 4, you stay the same. If your neighbor next door is 5 or higher, then you go up, okay? So the neighbor next door is talking to them. What's the neighbor saying? Is it saying same or up?
Say same.
It says same. So I'm going to do that. Now, all the neighbors that are to the left are going to stay the same.
No.
Yeah, because we're only rounding this one place.
Oh, yes.
Okay?
And then that's going to turn to a 0.
Yes, and then all the neighbors to the right become zeros. So 59,784, if rounded to the tens place, would be 59,780. Okay?
My other teacher used to be saying that if the numbers is over 5, she says that means he will say to go up and their friends.
Okay, up in friends. That's awesome. All right, so the next one we want to round to the hundreds place. Where's the hundreds place?
There.
Okay. Neighbor next door.
And it's up. It's saying up.
Saying up. Okay. So what does that become if it says up?
I never done that.
Okay, no. There you go. Okay, so it's a 10. But I can only have one digit, so I have to regroup. What does this become? All right, so we have to regroup. So what is 1 plus 9?
10.
Okay, and since it's 10, I can only have one digit in each place value. I have to regroup again.
And then that turns to 3.
Very good. So you've taken care of all the neighbors to the left. What happens to my neighbors to the right?
They turn to 0.
They turn to 0.
30,000.
Yep, 30,000. That's what that number would be. All right, so let's do one more here. All right, thousands place. Where is it, baby? Perfect. All right, what's the neighbor next door saying?
He's saying go up.
Go up. So what would it become?
Now they're twins.
No. They're twins. Yes, what would it be?
It would be a 7.
Neighbors to the left, what are they?
0.
To the left, baby. Left, left,
Oh.
left.
They stayed the same.
So it would be what?
It would be a 5.
Perfect. Neighbors to the right?
0's no longer twins.
All right, no longer twins, and they're zeros. All right. Okay, and then there's one more, and this is the adding and subtracting of fractions. Okay, so this one is super simple. The thing about fractions, let me write this here, adding and subtracting of fractions. Adding and subtracting of fractions. All right, so when you're adding and subtracting fractions, if the denominators are the same, you just look at the numerators, okay? And that's how it works for us here. So if I have 5/10 plus 2/10, what would that be?
It would be it would turn into a 7, but the 10.
And what's the
will
denominator?
stay the same.
There you go. 10 stays the same. Okay, so that's really easy. 3/4 minus 1/4.
But isn't it supposed to turn into a whole number since it's over 5? And since it's over 1?
It only does that if the denominator and the numerator are the same, or the numerator is bigger than the denominator, and this numerator is smaller than the denominator. Okay? 3/4 minus 1/4.
That is going to be a 4/4.
Baby, what sign is that?
Oh, mine is so 2/4.
Okay, very good. 2/4. Okay, so that's super easy. But sometimes you have to do something like this. So let's say 3 1/3 minus 1 2/3. All right? When we do, and this is still considered fractions, they're mixed numbers. When we do this, I have to start with my fractions because it's like when you do regular subtraction, you start with your smallest piece. Well, fractions are the smallest piece. So what I usually try to do is I write them out as separate problems. 1/3 minus 2/3. What is 1 minus 2?
1, 3, 1/3.
Okay, so I can take 2 from this one?
No.
No, I can't do that. So I have to regroup, okay? So I'm looking at this 3 1/3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this apart into two numbers. I'm going to break it up into 2 plus 1. Does that still equal 3? Okay, yes, it still equals 3, okay? So it's 2 plus 1 plus 1/3 is actually what that is, okay? Now I have to turn this 1 into a fractional whole, okay? What is my fractional whole if my fractions for this are thirds?
You turn it into a 3 or 2.
3 thirds.
3 thirds.
Very good. So now it's 2 plus 3 thirds plus 1 third.
Makes it 4 thirds.
Very good. 2 and 4 thirds.
So then,
Now I can subtract 2 and 4 thirds
then it turns to 2
minus
thirds.
1 and 2 thirds equals.
And then it turns
So
to
fractions
2
first. 4 minus 2.
1
4 minus 2. Try again.
over 2.
There you go. And what's my denominator?
The denominator is 3.
3. And 2 minus 1.
1.
All right?
This looks pretty easy.
This does look pretty easy. All right, so that is... That's okay. You're going to get some stuff to practice. So this is your video. I'm going to go ahead and post this onto YouTube. Why don't you go look up underneath here and say goodbye to yourself. Put your face there.
Okay.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye, Carlo.
All right, so I'm going to put this video...